Hey, you guys. So, yeah, I'm back to bring you part two of my Marco Polo Season 2, Episode 1 review. And I believe the last episode, the camera kind of went off, and I believe I left off pretty much with the 100 Eyes situation. So, yeah, let's get to that. So, pretty much, I believe, when I ended it, I had talked about how 100 Eyes pretty much drank up all of Jangum's beer. And he said pretty much this tastes like horse piss, no, dog piss. And that I would recommend you having some wine from the southern province. And then Jangum's like, but you drank up all the fucking beer though, and 100 Eyes like, yes, indeed, I have. So I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, for part two, I'm going to talk about just briefly the conversation between Prince Queen Chabi and the Blue Princess, aka Kokachin. So pretty much Queen Chabi lays it down for Kokachin. You will never be as important to Marco as Kublai Khan. My husband. The man who pretty much is the face that runs the place. The one that holds the boy's future in his hands. She says pretty much, that Marco's morality will be determined by the things he's willing to do for Kublai. And that pretty much Mark was a lost cause. She says pretty much that her husband sees what he decrees, and her son sees what he wishes. But she sees everything as it is, and pretty much, even though, it's her wedding day, Kokachin's whatever, the women have to be sober, but that doesn't mean they can't get a little high. So yeah, so she gets with this pipe, and I don't know, this pipe shit, and I really don't know what the fuck, it is, but that shit got both of them kind of nice. So yeah, what else happened? Oh, we had this conversation with Haya, who apparently is a prince of Manchuria, and he's taking a liking to Mei Ling's little girl. Fucking creepy, but then again, different times, different standards and acceptance and shit. So yeah, so Haya pretty much has. I have a feeling I'm mispronouncing this, but I'll get this right in the next review. Haya speaks to Kublai about the Pope. Haya is a Christian, and pretty much Kublai is like, don't you think the Crusades is kind of a war of self mutilation and destruction on both sides? Because so many people already lost their lives, and for what? Difference of opinion on, you know, acts and virtues and all that shit. And then Haya's like, you know what? There will be a winner, And pretty much he's on the Christian side, since he's a Christian. So pretty much Kublai's like, you know what? I look forward to meeting your Christian Pope in his city, and also make sure you tell me the important details. And Haya's like, give me the details you find important. He's like, yeah, he knows his cousin so well. No, they're not cousins. His uncle, yeah. Haya is Kublai's uncle, so yeah. And Haya's like, I hope we're gonna share a cup later. And Kublai's like, several, whenever I get the fuck out of this hellhole, so yeah. Um, Besides that, we have Byumba returning. He tells Kublai that Kaido is planning a coup d'etat. You know what I mean? And Kublai is immediately pissed off about this, and he just tells him to bounce, whatever. So the next scene, you have pretty much Kublai gathering the assembly. Kublai saying there's no way they're gonna elect that sheep fucker, as a Khan. The next Khan says, who's the one that conquered a 300-year-old dynasty? You know what I mean? Who took down the wall? I did that shit, not Kaido. You know what I mean? And you have pretty much Jingam, concurring, saying that pretty much Kaido, all he wants is Mongol isolation instead of Mongol expansion, And pretty much, I believe after that said, Ahmed says that he might try to raise up the rumors, or as he says, the tempest of the storm about how Kublai wasn't rightfully elected as Khan. So anywho, you have pretty much 100 Eyes show up. 100 Eyes like saying, in terms of Mongol isolation, belief in pretty much just maintaining the homeland Mongolia, that's exactly what Kaido's going to use, you know what I mean, as his main chip to win the throne of Khan, you know? And he's all saying, like, how can you rule, you know,